At first, I didn't want to tell anyone about my story. It felt too private, too painful, and embarrassing. However, the miraculous blood pressure remedy I stumbled on that literally saved my life and put an end to the constant headaches, chest pains, and poor performance with my wife is something too important to hide. I'll be ungrateful to God if I kept this information to myself. And as you're about to hear and see, this information is from reliable sources. High blood pressure is not caused by too much salt intake. It's not caused by alcohol consumption. It's not really lack of physical activity, aging, or poor diet. Sure, all of these factors increase the risk of developing hypertension, but none of them actually causes hypertension. Rather, hypertension is a result of the deficiency in one vital body molecule responsible for maintaining healthy blood pressure levels, and the same molecule that's also responsible for cleaning up our blood vessels for normal flow of blood. You will learn what this molecule is, how it causes high blood pressure, and how anyone can completely reverse their hypertension and quit taking hypertension drugs forever in only 3 months. You will also discover why doing so much exercise and eating healthy meals haven't really helped you in the past. What I have just said probably sounds too good to be true to you, but be patient and listen to everything I have to say first before you conclude. I had to hit rock bottom and almost lost my life before I discovered the powerful system I'm sharing with you in this story. Here's what happened. I woke up in what looked like a hospital with a light headache and a drip connected to my left hand that Sunday morning. I didn't know why I was lying on a hospital bed covered in white sheets. I could remember I wanted to raise my head to see what was happening, but the nurse calmly held me back to the bed. While telling me to calm down that I would be okay, she signaled to the other nurse in the ward to fetch my wife. And the next thing I saw was that my wife and my 3 children running up to the bed where I was lying on. I looked into my wife's eyes and they looked like those of someone that cried for more than 5 hours. And I could tell without any doubt that she didn't sleep all through the night. I was very nervous to know what happened and what we were doing in the hospital. That day became the ugliest and the most embarrassing day of my life when I eventually learned what happened. From what my wife told me, we got home from a friend's Owambe on Saturday evening and I went straight to the bedroom to change my clothes. The next thing they heard at the sitting room where my wife and children were sitting was the loud bang I made when I fell to the floor in the bedroom. I was lying unconscious on the floor and bleeding seriously from where I hit my head during the fall. She said I looked pale and my eyes were closing up very fast. My wife rushed me to the hospital with the help of our neighbors, and the first time I would open my eyes was when I woke up trying to understand what happened. Not quite long after, the young doctor came in and broke the news of what actually happened. Mr. Tunde, what happened to you is what we call a transient ischemic attack, or a mini stroke for short. It is a stroke, but it's not just a full-blown stroke. Your blood pressure read 204/126, which is critically high when they brought you in. If they brought you to the hospital only 10 minutes later than they did, we may not be having this conversation here now. It's only by pure miracle that you're still here with us, Mr. Tunde. I can't guarantee that you'll be lucky like this if this happens another time. It took about an hour for me to digest everything the doctor just said. The doctor made me understand that I was facing a life or death situation. If my blood pressure continues like it was at that time, I could eventually develop a full-blown stroke, have a heart attack or a kidney failure at just 43 years of my life. I hadn't really enjoyed any bit of life. My oldest child was just 12 years old at the time. There was still so much to life I haven't experienced. That's what forced me to go on the journey that changed everything in my life and the life of thousands of men and women across Nigeria. who learned what I'm about to teach you right now. I can guarantee this is not what you will learn from a Nigerian doctor for years to come, because most of them are still living in the past. Most of them don't have an iota of knowledge of newer studies that make it possible to completely reverse high blood pressure in only 3 months. But lucky for you, you'll be discovering the full information right here. Before I proceed, here is what some of the people I've shared this information with have to say. Mr. Peter Nwandu, a 73-year-old man from Imo State, sent me this message after putting his method into practice. I stumbled upon your method by pure chance. Within 90 days of following your method, my heart pounding and chest pain stopped, and I finally feel normal again. It's like my heart was inflated, and this method kind of healed me. Now, every time I check, even randomly, my blood pressure is like 120/80. My doctor still can't believe how on earth I lowered this BP fast. And it's not just Mr. Peter who has experienced a breakthrough following the information I'll share with you in the next few minutes. Mrs. Bakare said she lowered her blood pressure from 173/131 to 125/75 and reversed her 5-year-old hypertension after only 10 weeks, following the method I shared in this video. Maybe like these people, you're tired of these drugs and the nasty side effects yourself. Headache, skin rashes, weight gain, vomiting, erectile dysfunction, menstrual problems, and dangerously fast heartbeats. Or you just wish there was a way you could eat just the food you love without feeling guilty about your blood pressure. Perhaps you've been eating a lot of vegetables, moving and exercising for long like your doctor recommended, but your blood pressure hasn't been stable. Like me, you may have gotten tired of how your doctor keeps increasing your dosage or changing your medicine. You just want to live a normal life and spend quality time with your family without the fear of dying from a stroke, kidney failure, or a deadly heart attack. You know yourself that these drugs really aren't helping you get better. This presentation will confirm that to you. And you will see how those people and I have been able to safely reverse our hypertension permanently. I don't want to get ahead of myself yet. Let's get back to my story and I'll share how I discovered this solution. I was discharged from the hospital 2 days after. I couldn't sleep the night I got home. That night, I lay awake next to my wife, staring at the ceiling and feeling my heart beating in my chest, imagining the life of my wife and my children without me. Was this truly how I would live out the rest of my life? What will it look like when I finally develop a full-blown stroke like the doctor said? Was this what our life was supposed to be now? All of a sudden, everything I had been battling with and ignoring came back right at me. I couldn't remember the last time I made love to my wife, and I was sure I fumbled the last time we tried it. Do I really have to watch my family suffer like this? This was just one of the thoughts I had throughout the night, but what could I do? Just like you, I have tried everything over the years. Exercise, change of diet, eating healthy, moving more. I have even made my family stop taking salt entirely. I wasn't the type of person that drinks or smokes. I could remember the various supplements I had tried and the various problems that came with them. My doctor has even prescribed sedatives for me at one time. Not to mention the traditional advice I got people. I've used ginger, garlic, lemon, moringa, apple cider vinegar. My blood pressure was still always fluctuating. No matter how hard I tried, no matter how much money I wasted, no matter how many specialists I saw, nothing worked. In fact, after every single miracle solution, I ended up worse with my condition than before I started. Lying there with all of these thoughts on my mind, I knew I could do one of 3 things. I could ignore the thoughts and the fear hanging on my mind. I could sit back and watch what was left of me slowly die off. Or I could watch my business getting washed away overnight because of my health. I could also hate on everybody, get angry about how unfair it was to have so much taken from me, and continue taking hypertension drugs just to get through the day. Or I could make the choice I did. The choice to fight for my life and protect my family. The choice to discover the truth about the real cause of my problem and how to put an end to high blood pressure. The choice to wake up every morning feeling energized and go through the day without headaches, feeling dizzy, and without those chest pains and heart pounding. I began researching hypertension. I opened several web pages to learn what causes hypertension and how it can be reversed. I joined several forums that had a lot of medical experts and hypertensive people like me who were looking for a serious solution to high blood pressure. One thing I learned was that the real cause of hypertension is blocked and tiny blood vessel known as impaired vasoconstriction. You say you don't know what vasoconstriction is? Let me explain what it is. Vasoconstriction happens when the blood vessels responsible for moving blood, oxygen, and all other nutrients around the body become very tiny or blocked. This makes it difficult for blood and nutrients to flow to the brain, the eyes, and all parts of the body where it's needed. Now, don't get me wrong, vasoconstriction happens normally day in, day out. During cold periods, the blood vessels constrict to generate heat. It's also necessary to control how blood is distributed throughout our bodies. Vasoconstriction becomes a problem when it contracts for too long without expanding back. In other words, impaired vasoconstriction. The blood vessels may get blocked by toxins we take in every day from car exhaust, generators, the air we breathe, the water we drink, and every other source. All of these particles come together and block the blood vessels, leaving only little space for blood to flow. Here's a picture of what I'm saying. The one on the left is clearly open and the one on the right is partly blocked. A blood vessel like the one on the right causes more work for the heart to pump blood and generally raises our blood pressure. The body on its own tries to clear out the blood vessels and improve their elasticity. When we were younger, this was quite easy because all our organs are still very active. This is why children almost never have hypertension, unless in very rare cases. But the body simply loses the energy to do this task as we get older. When this blockage and constriction goes on for too long, it becomes a full-blown hypertension. And the funniest part is that we won't even know when all of this is going on in our bodies. No wonder doctors call hypertension the silent killer. The problem just comes without warning. Seeing threads like this, I felt like I was getting closer to the root cause of hypertension, and very soon I might be hypertension free. I started looking at the drugs doctors give to us at the hospital, and I found that most of them are just treating the symptoms. These drugs just help with the symptoms like the chest pains, headache, breathing difficulties, and all the others. They are not doing anything close to helping our blood vessels expand or clearing out the blockage. Even worse, these drugs are just plain chemicals that cause more harm than good to the human body. As one medical website puts it, the high blood pressure drugs silence the sound of the ticking, but the clock may well still be counting down toward a heart attack or stroke. That's how dangerous these drugs can be. You have probably witnessed some of the troubles of these drugs yourself. I have personally experienced them multiple times: stomach upset, vomiting, and several others. But taking drugs is not the only option available for managing hypertension today. What about eating healthy and moving more? These are better than the drugs. They help clear the blood vessels and also help with elasticity. The problem is just that they are not very effective. They are very slow, and it's why you will see that your blood pressure gets high again a few days after your last workout. To make them very effective, you have to stick with them for life. Any simple attempt to enjoy life by not following intense exercise or eating appropriately will raise your blood pressure immediately. This is not a great way to live. Knowing this, my problem reduced to finding a very effective way to reverse constriction of my blood vessel and clear out the blockage. I still didn't know how to go about this. I began asking every doctor and specialist I could find about a way to reverse impaired constriction of the blood vessels. None of them had a good answer. It was always to take this new drug to treat your symptoms, eat healthy and move more. I wasn't satisfied with the answers I was getting from doctors who were supposed to know better. I was on this roller coaster for about 6 months until the day my life would change forever. Indian doctors were holding a health seminar here in Ikeja, Lagos State. I went there to see if these people would know any better. There were only 35 people that attended the seminar. These doctors spoke about a lot of diseases from diabetes to ulcer to arthritis and finally the one I was interested in, hypertension. My eyes brightened up when one of them mentioned constriction and blockage of the blood vessels. I sat upright in my chair and paid attention. This man just literally told me everything I read about hypertension again. But he went even further and spilled the solution that would help reverse my hypertension and those of more than 800 people forever. The secret to saying goodbye to hypertension forever is what he nicknamed the miracle molecule. This molecule was discovered by 3 scientists in Sweden in 1998. In fact, these scientists got a Nobel Prize for their discovery because of how important this miracle molecule is to cardiovascular health and blood pressure. The president of the American Heart Association publicly said, "The discovery of this miracle molecule is one of the most important discoveries in the world of blood pressure and cardiovascular health." That's how important the miracle formula is to healthy blood pressure. You're probably wondering what the miracle is, right? It's called nitric oxide, a combination of nitrogen and oxygen. How does it work? Nitric oxide helps expand your blood vessels so more blood, oxygen and nutrient can flow to the brain, the eyes and every part of the body where they are needed. Hundreds of studies show nitric oxide helps relax arteries so they expand easily, to promote optimal blood flow and healthy blood pressure. Nitric oxide helps to maintain soft elastic blood vessels that support good cardiovascular health. It supports a strong immune system, especially important during the cold season. Nitric oxide promotes peak performance in the bedroom for sexually active men and women. Nitric oxide plays a role in healthy erectile function. It also boosts energy. Even athletes and footballers use nitric oxide to get more oxygen flowing to their muscles. That's how powerful the miracle molecule is to cardiovascular health and our general well-being. When these researchers put the miracle formula to a test, here's a picture of what the result was like. The blocked blood vessels completely cleared out. When your circulation is working well, just about every part of your body works better. The fear of developing a stroke or a heart attack is dissolved completely. But there's another problem. You can't just go out and consume nitric oxide to get all these good things. Instead, your body produces something called a precursor, nutrients needed to produce organic nitric oxide. The trouble is, as we get older, our bodies produce less and less of these nutrients. In fact, the levels of these nutrients start to drop off as early as age 30. By the time you're 50, chances are you're not getting enough of these nutrients to keep your blood vessels relaxed and flexible. That's why hypertension is rampant in people like us who are older. I got very excited as I heard these doctors take turns and explain more and more about these nutrients. By the time they were done, everyone in the seminar who had blood pressure issues were convinced. But there was another big problem. Many companies have tried to come up with a way to make nutrients that can help the body make nitric oxide, but none of them had gotten the formula right till that day. They were always using cheap herbs that contained very little of these nutrients, or they were just falsely labeling their products saying they contain nutrients necessary to make the miracle molecule. I was about to bury my head in my hand and give up, but I was shocked when they said the next thing, which was, "We have a solution." They said they partnered up with their fellow doctors in India to make this one-of-a-kind super supplement that delivers this nutrient in adequate supply to the body. That way, Your body has the raw materials it needs to manufacture the miracle molecule, which will help take care of your blood pressure issues. Not only that, they said they had worked on another supplement that makes the body naturally able to produce and absorb nitric oxide on its own again. This other supplement gives energy like we had during our youth to the organs again. That way, our bodies can start clearing out blocked vessels like they used to do when we were younger. One of the supplements is called ashwagandha and the other is CardioVital. They brought them out and asked if we were willing to try them out. I was skeptical about trying out their products because of my past experiences with the other ones. But I agreed to try them because they guaranteed that anyone who buys them should be free from hypertension in 3 months, or they'll pay us double our money back. They also told us things that supported my earlier researches, and I saw testimonials of people who completely reversed hypertension with these supplements. The cost of the complete 3-month pack was 100,000 naira that I transferred to their account. They insisted that everyone use their supplement for 3 months for complete reversal. During the first 2 weeks of taking this supplement in the morning and at night as they prescribed, there was really no difference. I was starting to think I got scammed, but my wife told me to follow through for 3 months. After all, I can get my money back if it doesn't work. What happened starting from the 3rd week blew my mind. I noticed that I was not getting very tired like before again, and the chest pains have started to disappear. I wasn't sure if it was from the formula, but I kept on using them. My 2nd month was also another month of transformation. My readings started to drop gradually, and I wasn't really having those side effects I used to have from the other drugs. I have started also having enjoyable sex with my wife again. My sexual urge was super high. Just so we're on the same page, I wasn't on a special diet. I haven't taken up a new workout plan, and I wasn't using anything else apart from these supplements the way the doctors instructed. It was at this time I realized that these supplements were really working. I had an appointment with my doctor during the 3rd month, and it was right there that he confirmed to me that I had just done what he thought was impossible. I am finally free from hypertension, and it doesn't look like my blood pressure will ever become an issue again if I maintain a normal lifestyle. You need to see how happy I was. I was almost crying in his office. Even my doctor himself was surprised at my sudden transformation. My hypertension struggles of more than 5 years disappeared in only 3 months. My wife's brother was the first person to try out ashwagandha and CardioVital after me. He dropped his blood pressure from 150/123 to 117/90 in the first 2 months and completely eliminated his hypertension in the 3rd month like me. Then my friend Matthew tried them too. He reversed his 8 years long hypertension in only 3 months too. In fact, as he puts it, my doctor said I would never get off my hypertension drugs, but he is absolutely wrong. Here I am completely free from hypertension without side effects in only 3 months. It wasn't long before people I had never heard of started reaching out to me for help. It got to a point that I started turning away people because it started affecting my business. I felt guilty every time I had to do this because I had seen firsthand how miserable high blood pressure can be. The day I finally have a change of mind was when these Indian doctors reached out to me and one other person from the seminar. We were the only 2 people who were there for hypertension at that seminar. They asked us if we'd be able and willing to help a great cause by spreading this news out to other Nigerians suffering from hypertension. We both felt like we'd be ungrateful to God if we didn't accept the offer. We agreed to become their representatives here in Nigeria and help them get ashwagandha and CardioVital in the hands of as many Nigerians as possible, provided that they agreed to a few conditions. The conditions were, they will refund anyone who uses this supplement for a full 90 days but is not satisfied with the results. They will reduce the price because 100k for a 3-month pack was too much for the average individual. They will also provide a standard blood pressure monitor like the ones they gave us with our orders. They agreed to these conditions and we finally had to deal with them. That's the essence of this presentation today. To share my story with the world and help as many people completely break free from hypertension as the number of bottles we will have would allow, to help people like you totally eliminate the fear of developing a stroke or hypertension and replace it with the excitement of living a healthy life again. To save people like you from burning a lot of money month over month to buy drugs that treat the symptoms of high blood pressure. To help you reconnect back with your wife or husband and have lovely bedtime games again. To help you put an end to chest pains, fatigue, headache, sleeplessness and all the troubles of hypertension. To allow you to eat good foods you love without feeling guilty or deprived. Since my partner and I have started sharing our stories, we have received a lot of amazing testimonials from people like this. Mr. Tijani Balogun couldn't hide his joy when his doctor said he is no longer hypertensive. He wrote to me and said, "Ashwagandha and Cardiovital saved my life from hypertension. God bless you, Akin." 67-year-old Mr. Kazim Bolagade wrote to me after 3 months and said, "My doctor said I would never get off my drugs. I was spending a lot of money every month. I am happy to tell you that he is wrong. My blood pressure is normal and I'm completely off my drugs forever. Now it's your turn today to experience this kind of transformation. I don't know what your goals are when you finally reverse your hypertension, but I'm sure Ashwagandha and Cardiovital will help you achieve them if you follow these supplements for 3 months, and there's no risk on you whatsoever to try them out. You simply place your order for Ashwagandha and Cardiovital today. Use them for 3 full months, and if your blood pressure is not completely normal, simply send back the empty bottles and I'll personally ensure that you get a full refund without questions. Can your doctor make this kind of guarantee? I bet you said no. That's how confident I am in this masterpiece. Now, before I tell you how to get yours and how much you will invest to regain your life back today, I need to let you know the big problem at hand. As much as we want to help this supplement in the hands of everybody who places an order today, it's simply not possible. The manufacturers have made us know that it takes 60 days to produce each batch of this supplement. They say they need to go through several rounds of testing to ensure they are totally safe, and the natural herbs they use are very rare and sourced from various places around the world. This explains why we never get more than 150 bottles every 2 months. No matter how many people land on this page, only a few people are able to get them. Because most people, upon realizing that these supplements are not always available, usually decide to buy up the complete 3-month plan. This ensures that they don't come here the next month and find out that we are out of stock. And remember, as I've said earlier, it takes 3 full months to completely reverse your hypertension from this supplement. 3 months of consistent usage. Not that you will use them this month and start your second month after another month has passed without using them. You must go for 90 uninterrupted days to get the best results. I urge you to grab the 3-month plan today if you're seriously tired of suffering from high blood pressure. Of the 150 bottles we got this month, we only have 120 bottles left because 10 people have pre-ordered a 3-month plan. The remaining 120 bottles is what is up for grabs today. It only takes 40 people or so to completely be out of stock again, and you have to wait for another 60 days before you can get your hands on them. With that out of the way, I know you are itching to hear the price and how to get yours immediately. Being honest, Ashwagandha and Cardiovital are more expensive than most drugs doctors recommend because they truly work. And also because you only have to take them for 3 months and say goodbye to hypertension forever. Compare that to the cost of constantly buying several drugs your doctor recommends and the other things you are using over a period of years. Drugs that help you with your erection, drugs that help you with the pains, drugs that help you with inability to sleep. That's a whole lot of money, you will agree, my friend. You'll see you're making a wise choice
by investing in Ashwagandha and Cardiovital today.
You also get a free standard digital blood pressure checker.
But the deal on Ashwagandha and Cardiovital gets even better. You're not only going to get these powerful supplements. We are that confident in Ashwagandha and Cardiovital that we will send a standard digital blood pressure checker with your order to prove us wrong.
Don't worry if you don't know how to use it. A full instruction on how to use it will come with your order. And you'll be able to interpret your blood pressure numbers yourself at every time. I want you to see for yourself how your blood pressure is approaching normal while you are feeling healthier, sleeping better, staying sharper, and performing better when it gets to the bedroom.
You either agree that Ashwagandha and Cardiovital are worth the price, or you pay nothing, plus you get to keep the blood pressure checker as an apology from the doctor and us.
One last thing that you would also get with your order today is an eating dossier.
This is a book that contains healthy foods that enhance the work of Ashwagandha and Cardiovital.
Eating these foods will complement their efforts and make your recovery even faster. And isn't that what everyone wants?
Don't get me wrong, without eating these foods, Ashwagandha and Cardiovital are more than enough to reverse your hypertension. So that means you're getting Ashwagandha, Cardiovital, a standard digital blood pressure checker with full instructions, an eating guide that speeds up your journey.
These alone are worth more than any amount you could ever pay. Or what price is high enough for a new chance to regain your health back and connect with your family again? What price could we possibly charge that will be worth lifting the risk of developing a stroke, kidney failure, or heart attack away forever? How much is it too much for you to sleep peacefully and never go on a day thinking about the bad direction your life is going? You will agree with me that you can't really place a price on these things. There's a special bonus for people that decide to go with the complete and most popular 3-month plan today. They'll also get free consultation calls with experts who will be with you at every step of the way. They'll be answering your health questions and help you monitor your progress. You are not alone in the journey. We are approaching the final part of this presentation, which is how to place your order. I want you to relax your mind, my friend. You're not sending money to a random person on the internet while praying you don't get scammed. I'll be skeptical about it too. So we have arranged to make this deal as risk-free as possible. When you have decided to go with the advised 3-month plan that guarantees you'll never leave your journey half completed, or the lesser plans, you will be asked to fill a form to get your contact information, which includes your name, your address, your phone number, and a few other questions. If there are still some bottles left before you place your order, our assistant will call you to confirm your order. You basically confirm that you place an order and make a low deposit of 1,000 Naira to confirm your order. This 1,000 Naira is like a commitment fee to ensure that you show up to pick up when the delivery man arrives. We have had situations in the past when people place orders and refuse to show up when the delivery man gets to their location. Shipping these products to you costs about 5,000 Naira on the average, and wasting this kind of money on people who aren't even ready to say goodbye to hypertension is not good enough. Plus, it's depriving people like you who seriously want to get a shot at a good life again. That's why we have decided to request for a tiny deposit of 1,000 Naira to weed out the not so serious people. This means you will deposit 1,000 Naira and make the remaining payment at the point of pickup. There's no risk to you whatsoever. You will get your order within 3 days no matter where your location is in Nigeria. And delivery is free no matter where you are. While you are still listening to the rest of this presentation, some people are already rushing to get their 3-month supply from the 120 bottles we have left. Every second you wait is another chance you are losing to start living your best life again. Remember that you need to take this supplement for a complete 3 months to reverse your hypertension forever. 3 uninterrupted months. Click the link below this video and select your package.
Let's take a moment and consider your other options to handle your high blood pressure, besides using Ashwagandha and Cardiovital.
I am a big believer that if something has not worked for you in the past, then do not do it again, because you probably be getting the same bad result you got before. Do you agree? In short, if something doesn't work, then stop doing it. If you go on to buy another hypertension drug, where you have to increase your dosage as time goes on, and it becomes less and less effective, you know this will fail to help you reverse your hypertension, because it's not tackling the root cause of high blood pressure. You'll be getting worse on the inside while you're using this drug to hide your symptoms. And you also know the long-term effect of these drugs. They can cause damage to your heart, causing a heart attack or even a deadly stroke. If you go on the website to learn the newest tricks and herbs that haven't worked for you in the past, you'll probably get disappointing results too. And if you decide to take the road a few people take, which is to try out a diet and cut out salt and other food, the end result is that you'll be frustrated and give up long before you get your desired result.
So, if you don't want to go through another round of disappointing solutions, I think your best option to reverse your high blood pressure safely is to try out the all-natural ashwagandha and Cardiovital.
They are safe and easy to use, and I have taken the risk completely off you. It either works or it's free. You also won't be sending money to a random stranger on the internet, because we operate a pay-on-delivery model. Here are some disappointing numbers on hypertension. About 867 people die from complications of hypertension, like heart attack, kidney failure, and others every breathing hour. That brings us to around 20,000 deaths every day, and about 7.6 million deaths every year. And do you know what all these people have in common? They didn't have the opportunity I had that helped me reverse my hypertension. Maybe I would have just been another number among people that died from hypertension, if not for God's grace. The same opportunity I had is lying right in front of you today. Will you let it pass even when you're not risking anything? Or take it and get your sure ticket to living healthily again? The decision is yours to make today, my friend. You have been following your doctor's advice for years. If it were truly working, you wouldn't have watched this presentation to this point. Whatever you decide, I wish you well. Click the link below and select a package that suits your budget.
Once again, most people go for the 3 months plan to avoid disappointment, since it takes 3 months to completely reverse high blood pressure with ashwagandha and Cardiovital.
Apart from that, they are also cheaper and comes with the free health consultancy I talked about.